can't feel my face, yeah. I mean, it sounds so beautiful, you dig? Yeah, I know L's talk to him. When the levees broke, when the plane said, what's going on, my nigga? You know the same shit. After Katrina, after the towers, we hold our heads high. After disaster,
Midnight comes a little faster, runs another stop sign.
Yeah. I'm calling for the love line.
Yeah, see,
What's going on?
Thanks for calling.
Well, let's take it.
No, I just hung up on him. But see, he was calling for love line, so it's love line related.
But here's the thing: is I don't want to take that guy's call anywhere because he said I'm calling for the love line.
Yeah,
that's like saying I'm going to see the Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of a new band unless.
What your topic's going to be?
Regret.
Making regret. Okay.
It's. Do you do that? Because I just want to clear my head when I go home and I'm hammered, and I don't want to lay there trying to review every conversation because I talk people's ears off, and I'm sure I repeated myself 40 times to the same person.
But you don't have
on and on and on and on and on
during the time. You just think about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
All right. So yours is a regret. What's yours, Tyler?
Oh, topics?
Yeah.
I just lied when you asked me if I had a topic.
Yeah, that's a weird place.
I didn't get paid for that. I was the assistant director, the AD on the movie, so I had to be in charge of everyone, making sure they were there, and I was calling people up, kind of like a producer type. And one girl who didn't even, she ended up being sick. She didn't even make it. She was supposed to play the slutty masseuse.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the phone with her a lot because she was sick. She couldn't make it, so I had to recast her. And that was my payment, because even though she never showed up on set and she was sick, I ended up going to visit her one day, and we had sex.
And she was a slutty masseuse?
And we had sex.
All right, let's take a call.
That was my payment for the show, for working on that movie.
Hey, what's happening?
Isn't that a great story?
I gave her $5.
Oh, I saw a lady. I was in the San Fernando Valley, so that might give you an idea. But this woman was on the street with her 6-year-old, and she also had not a newborn, probably like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
The kid was standing on its own 2 feet, and her big saggy nipple was hanging out of the kid's mouth, and I didn't even know what I was looking at. It was like one of those things where you're walking and it's like modern art.
Looking at.
It's like modern art where you can't really tell what it is, and you're just walking, you're not really thinking. You see like a little family by the side of the road, and you wonder if their car broke down or they're homeless or what the deal is. And then I saw this it was like a sluggish, like a small snake coming slipping out of the child's mouth.
Long?
It was long and stretched out and disgusting. And then she gave me a dirty look, like, "What are you looking at me for?" And I was like, "Honey, I'm not looking."
Elongated
your
nipples hanging out.
But
like one time, okay, I'm embarrassed to admit this.
We got 30 seconds to go.
I'm embarrassed to admit this, but about 15 years ago, I decided I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I'm going to buy rollerblades. I know they're super gay. I put on my rollerblades, and I'm going from my house in San Diego down to the bay to rollerblade around the bay. I know it's retarded. I would never do it again. And I'm at the light, and these 4 kids blow up to me in a little Honda Accord, like 16-year-olds, and the guy looks at me and he goes, "Rollerblades are for fags." And I had nothing to say except for, "You're a fag." And I was like, oh my God, that's my witty comeback, and I dream about having a time machine to go back.
You know what sucks is when you think you have to go take a dump, and you get your little literature that you want to enjoy, and you get in there and you don't have to. And now you're just sitting and reading with your pants down for no reason. And you know how absurd that would look if you're just in your living room sitting on your park lounge with your pants down, but you're not jacking, you're just reading.
What do you wear at home?
No. So we don't have a name, but we will. And we will be back to F Around next Wednesday. At the same
I'd say
time.
we assemble a best of for Thursday.
Good one,
that's so awesome.
About 8 seconds long.
All right, well,
what's the topic, though?
First things first. I don't want to hear about your mosquito bite that you're freaking out about and thinking it's cancer.
It's not a mosquito bite.
Because Mike's a hypochondriac.
I am a hypochondriac.
You know how you say hypochondriac in Spanish?
Yes.
How?
El hypochondriaco.
It's hypochondriacio.
That sounds like a fear of spiders.
Hypochondriacio. So the 3 choices so far for right now, what we have up there is the latest disaster.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. The
post Love Line disaster. Because that comes on after the Love Line.
Tyler, did you give the thumbs up to the latest disaster?
Or after Love Line disaster?
With disaster,
yeah, Mike
then
was
post.
making an argument that after and disaster rhyme. Which, I'm not a songwriter, but I got to disagree with you there.
The name I'm totally against was Anderson's original post-coital abortion, or whatever you want to call this show, which would have never worked on iTunes.
I wanted to call it the afterbirth disaster.
Well, what always gets me choked up to the point where I feel like crying is any movie where either an old black guy or an old white guy comes to realize they're not racist, and like the old black guy helped the young white kid, or the old white guy helps the young black guy, and I'm always like, we're all the same. And what reminded me of it was I heard a black guy say to his son, "Let's go home." I heard a black guy say to his son like a month ago, "Let's go home and make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches," and I was like, we're all the same.
There is no racial bigotry.
They like white food.
Peanut butter and
I
jelly
just
is
assume
white
peanut
food?
butter and jelly is the whitest food, and I haven't had it in like years and years and years, but it just seems like a white food. Doesn't it?
A white food is the Fluffernutter, which is just peanut butter and Miracle Whip.
I don't know what that
white
is.
bread.
Ugh.
It's really good, actually.
And also, this goes,
what's it called?
the
Fluffernutter?
Fluffernutter.
I wish I wouldn't have
That's the name of
said
the show.
Amazing, dude.
Really?
That's the name
Where
of
do
the
you
show.
get it?
What do you get? I don't know.
You
Where do you
make
get Miracle Whip and
I
peanut
don't
butter
think
Where
on
do you
bread?
get
I don't
peanut
want,
butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, so I had this stupid pretentious car phone, like it was like in the middle, and you just made.
You have a little cool antenna on the back.
And
of your
nobody
car.
had cell phones that fit in your pocket at the time. There was like 91, and my girlfriend and I were having a lot of problems, and she ended up breaking up with me. And then
Depends on your
I had slowly, over the course of a week, worked myself back into her life a little bit, where we were at least communicating. I was parked in front of her apartment, and I was talking to her on the car phone, and it was a really nice, about 45 to an hour long, 45 minute to an hour long conversation.
Probably shouldn't drink while we do this.
And then she goes, "Where are you?" And I went, "I'm at home." And then I leaned on my horn, and she just goes, "You effing a-hole." And that was Rebecca, as a matter of fact.
Where were you when she
San Diego.
roasted you? I see.
Yeah, that was Rebecca. You met her.
Did I?
Yeah, she's
I don't know. I
she's
don't
now
remember
a
people.
lesbian,
Oh yeah, Mike's got like 3 or 4 ex-girlfriends. Carano's got 3 or 4
and
ex-girlfriends.
they're all lesbians.
All right, what is the whole shebang? Is it the whole shalong? Is it one shalong? Is it numerous shalongs?
No,
What is the shebang? Multiple?
Wait a minute.
Penetration in
Helena,
every hole available.
You want DP? You want airtight? You want to be airtight?
Yes.
The ripping and the tearing. The
Are you
ripping and
saying-
the tearing.
You would
Yes.
bang Hito Rick if you could.
Everything.
The ripping and the tearing. The ripping and the tearing.
Everything. Every
I think that
hole
you're-
possible just plugged in. Yeah.
Have you ever been on medication? Are you manic? Do you,
No,
have you
no,
been diagnosed
no.
I
with
have to
anything?
admit that I just got kind of a boner, and I'm not. I'm trying to be professional here, but I'm like, yeah, I just got kind of a boner. Weird.
Well, and you. Why did you not
Wait,
respond?
did
to
I just
my,
lisp? That's even
Why
worse.
did you not respond to my text? I got a
I
very
respond to all
long
your
text.
texts.
No, you didn't.
I'll tell you off the air.
Look at the fire in his eyes. He's fired up.
There's a reason. There's some girls been sending me sexual texts.
Yeah, I got
texts,
not that one. I'm not talking about that one.
and I
That's a
disabled my
different one.
texting because I don't want it to show up.
That's a whole
for no
different
reason,
story.
and it's not any.
I'm talking about the one you listening to our podcast somehow. I don't know how
Yeah.
you do that, but you listened to
And
it.
you said Christ?
And, yeah, and I just said Christ. That was my
How
response.
do I respond to that?
It was you wrote
I
back
poured
a
my
free-
guts out to you, and you're like Christ, like oh jackass.
Oh,
Oh, you are
he's-
talking about us.
He's calling
Thank
for
you.
the. Watch this. He's
Thank
calling
you.
for the post-love line disaster.
Yeah, the post-Bloodline disaster.
PLD, the kids are calling it.
Please.
PLD.
No one is calling it
I
that.
do appreciate this call a lot, but please tell me you're not the same guy that called last week.
I'd like to say that I got an email about the show from our big boss,
Oh,
and it was just
no.
titled. I knew this would upset you, and it was from Max, who runs programming.
He didn't
over-
listen to it, did
he's
he?
pretty much the program director of all of Westwood One.
It said, "What's with all the giggling?"
I hate you guys. I'm trying not to laugh ever. This is the new me. Let's go back to me doing Tom
It
Waits.
was-
I don't even know what Tom Waits sounds
it
like when
was
he's
just
talking,
titled-
but I assume.
That reminds you, you try not to laugh anymore. This is a true story. I knew a girl. I was dating this girl, and her best friend was from Newport Beach, and she was extraordinarily self-conscious.
Yeah.
You can understand that way.
Nope. I'm Mr. Confident.
And we were hanging around drinking one night and talking, and everyone was laughing. And I noticed she laughed like this. You can't see my face, but it sounded like this. And my friend and I, Mickey and I, were like, "What is wrong with this girl?" So we have so many drinks that we just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to ask her." I said, "Why do you laugh like Mr. Ed on opiates?" And she says, I recently read in a magazine that if you laugh a lot, you get laugh wrinkles, and I'm nervous." She's a beautiful girl.
Oh, that's
Perfect
fantastic.
skin.
So she was altering
So
her
she
natural
had
laugh
been for, like-
and not flex her face.
Right, and her best friend, who I was dating at
That
the time,
is awesome.
said that she had been doing it for about a month, and she would laugh like because she didn't want to.
In that case, here's my new laugh. I don't want to wrinkle my face. He's not naked. He's wearing a a loincloth.
Wearing a nice red sash.
That was added by the uptight American.
I know.
He's usually donging it. Wow, we just lost at least one listener.
God, I hope so.
They're talking about Jesus' dog on the after show.
Now we lost our southern
That
listener.
could be the name of the show, Jesus is Dong.
We lost our Christian listener and our southern listener. So anyways, I'm being strapped in there, and he's got to come and push it so that it clicks.
Yeah.
And he pushes it, and I can feel my back just like crack and snap, crackle, pop. And he's a Mexican, older Mexican homie dude, and he looks at me and he says, "Look, man, I think you're too big. You're too big, eh?
No
this
way.
thing's not gonna lock, eh?" And it's one of these things where we're all sitting and staring at each other
That's
like
not
in a
even
big
possible,
circle.
Anderson, because you're
and then
not
he takes
even-
it and he pushes it again, and he's saying, "Yeah, man, that La Cerveza did it, eh? You're too big, eh?" And I'm like, "What?" And everyone is staring at me like the fat guy's got to get off the
But
ride.
you're not even
And
fat.
I'm like, "It's not my belly." And he's like pointing at my stomach, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta get off, man."
That would screw me up big time. That would screw me up.
But the ride stopped 20 seconds in, and I'm about 50 feet in the air. We all are.
They
And
made
I'm
a
looking down,
chubby-
and Mr. Homie guy,
Chubby Cohen get off the ride.
Cowan, you son of a bitch, with his handlebar mustache, is from the ground pointing and laughing at me, going, "The ride is stopping because of you, eh?"
Oh, you should have knifed
And the
that guy.
floor, like it opens up so that we can get out, and the floor is closing, and the ride comes to a stop, and then it starts up again. I think he did it just to fuck with
Do you remember the name of the ride?
Wango? I don't know.
The Not for Anderson ride?
The No Fat Andersons Allowed. I don't remember. I can't remember. They have all
That is
they have
that
really
is bad. Yeah.
I'm really upset
I
about
gotta-
it. So he's trying to give other girls mental orgasm.
Wait, can
Oh,
you hang,
someone said the code.
can you hang up on
Fluffernutter!
Can you hang up on that other guy though, so I can talk about him?
He's gone.
Fluffernutter.
He's gone.
Okay, I'm not going to McCormick and Smith.
He's a badass. So don't that
Yeah.
guy calling from Culver City. Do not
Yep.
try and come down.
Do
here.
not try to come down here because
That
if you
guy's
see
like
Reggie,
4 blocks away. I just
you
looked
might
at
think
his
it's a world
GPS.
wrestler. I mean,
Reggie will fuck you up.
Yep.
You'll walk up to the studio and
Yep.
try and approach the door, and then all of a sudden you'll hear, "Hey,
Yep.
what are you doing here?"
Here's what it would be like to fight Reggie. Like, imagine fighting Frodo from Lord of the Rings if he had a disease, like a bone disease.
What? What? Who's
If he
Frodo?
was really frail and he couldn't fight back.
Oh, I see.
Dude, he's from like Pasadena.
What was that
we could probably
accent? It was
find
really weird.
him. His parents are from Pasadena too.
He doesn't sound anything like that.
That's why I live in Pasadena, because everyone sounds like that, and it's really.
Do they really sound
melodious.
like that?
No, I don't know what the hell that was.
And I just thought it'd be so awesome to have him or somebody even better that I had in mind to come down and just cruise in at the end of Loveline. All right, you guys, thank you very much for listening. Mike Carano.
Wow, that was way too quick.
Check it out, MikeCarano.com. 5 minutes with Mike. I have nothing to sell or offer. And 310-995.
Makes you wanna cry.
And then the other thing I did one day was she was standing on the bed, and I just yanked the sheet out from underneath her, and she stayed on it. So I kept going, "Sheet rider," riding the sheets like she's a superhero. And the other night, I had a couple of glasses of wine in me, and I made this little recording of her theme song, "Sheet Rider."
Riding the sheets.
That's what you were
I
working on?
spent like an hour
That's it.
making that for a 5-pound chihuahua. Very shifty.
Dropping out of school just ain't cool. Dropping out of school ain't cool. Some think it's cool to drop out of school. If you think that way, then you're a fool. Hey, what you doing with that smoke? Making yourself and the public choke. There's a real reason for alarm. You see, that cigarette's causing harm.
Hey,
and they
I'm
can
going
tell
with
you
this is
exactly-
the worst show we've ever done because I
'Cause you
am
haven't
just
talked?
out of it. Yeah, because I haven't talked, and
Came off like a racist when you couldn't believe that Reggie didn't know anyone who had done crack. Are you talking about that?
No.
I stand by that. I stand by that. He doesn't know anyone that dropped out of school or that did crack.
Look on your face when he said no. It looked like someone told you they just like killed your dogs.
But I want to talk about the nightmare that was trying to get fitted for hearing aids.
You know what a good dream is?
Yeah.
A tight mare.
A tight mare.
I found this guy on Twitter who wrote that today, and I have a gay crush on him now because I'm also so jealous that I didn't think of it myself. And it was so simple. He didn't write anything after it. All it said was, "Cool dreams are tight mares." Period. Done.
Mike, I can always tell when you're drunk. from your tweets.
Because I'm rubbing against you with my soft penis. Hey, whoa, that's not true. It just seems more fun to talk to girls.
My question?
Oh,
Sure,
yes, I'm so sorry.
I already know what it is. Yes, you are a bitch.
I was going to ask you.
just by that attitude and that inflection in your voice.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Sorry.
We need to keep Reggie far
Right, you
away
and I
from the
need to
internet.
Yeah.
And all the comments and past episodes, because he will
I got to tell you, he's
learn to use the internet.
He's got a BlackBerry out there, and he does listen to internet
It's
radio.
a BlackBerry because
so
he's black? Is that what you're saying?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you being racist?
He's got a Negro berry, and I'm pretty sure that he... I tried to read a book about Disneyland last night, but I don't know how to read, so it's difficult.
I've never been to Disneyland. It sounds so fascinating.
You should go. It's pretty good.
You should go with Mike.
Why'd you say it in that weird, creepy tone?
Because that's how it would be. You
Tyler.
think it would just be really normal and like fun?
If you get down here and and I'm sorry to tell you can't stay at my house because I like my privacy, but I Anderson and Tyler and I will all take you to Disneyland.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
You have to give us all Steve Jobs though.
Oh, okay,
I don't even know what a Steve job is, but
Sydney, I love her. She's one of my 3 little chihuahuas that are 3 small breed dogs that I have at home. And she was laying there on the couch, and I got very concerned because I saw a skin tag coming off of her. And I went to, I thought it was like a boil or something.
Why'd you use your mouth?
I didn't use my mouth. I used my finger, my middle finger. And anyways, I touched it, and the sad part is it took me like 3 full seconds to realize that I was actually touching dog labia before I recoiled.
Oh, God. Did she have an orgasm?
It was I'm at the gym. It's like 8:15 in the morning. I'm doing some kind of gay exercise for my bisexuals.
You're gay.
Thanks, Drew. And
you were working out your anus?
I love how Tyler's all excited because he has control of the little sound effect machine in there.
Don't belittle me.
So, yes, I was working on my anus for my bisexuals.
You're gay.
Tyler. And, hey.
You know what?
How can I read the comment?
I'll send him an email. I'll send him a text or an email maybe Monday or Tuesday and see if he's around. Hey, has he talked to you about that?
Oh,
by the way, did you do that?
Yeah, he's talked to me.
Did you do that picture where we're all Reggie? Because that was pretty funny.
Wait, how did you see that? Oh, I see.
Anderson sent it to me. That was real.
Bad TV show, but
Was
she
it
ended up
college?
We broke up. She went away to college, and then she ended up getting back together with my old best friend, the guy that was taking advantage of her. And
so now you're not friends with either one?
Neither one of them. They're happily married with 3 kids.
Great.
And he's a sociopath.
So you basically ruined their lives for 3 years because you kept them from being together.
Perhaps, yeah. Or I gave her the last 3 good years of her life because
I gave her the last good dicking she was ever gonna get.
Yeah.
How old are those kids?
I don't know. I don't know. What? Like I'm on Facebook looking at them. I don't know.
Huh?
So, anyways, here's a great story about that
when
kid.
one of them turns 18, you should fuck him.
That would be awesome.
Oh my god!
You're right.
3.5 minutes over secret time.
Eric Anderson. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Going to vomit.
Mandy, hold on. We have secret time now from Tyler.
Mike, remember when you were saying that you hope no one hears this?
Yeah. They didn't?
No one's hearing this right now. It's an entire show.
No. What?
No one's hearing this.
Are you serious?
I have to post it tomorrow and then people get to listen to it. I've known since before I came to Loveline that tonight's show wouldn't be aired.
What a day.
But I knew that you guys would be pissed and wouldn't want to do it or you'd have bad attitudes the whole time. And look, we've had a pretty good show. And everyone's still going to enjoy it. Just no one got to enjoy it.
I don't know why you're
live.
saying it like Bill Burr.
Because I have to. Sure. At least I'm not doing it in front of him like you were last night.
Yeah, I had a New York accent.
That's terrible.
Hey,
oh, geez.
Well, in the future, I wish you would tell me that it's not going to air because I posted it a couple times and
well, I couldn't say, hey, Mike, by the way.
What the fuck is with that? Which nerd do we have to yell at to make this work?
Apparently, Ron has to reset the encoders, and he won't be able to do it until tomorrow.
That
he won't tell anyone
the king
else.
of all fuck nerds.
Yeah. Sexual Ron harassment. He won't tell us how to.
Yeah?
And my mom, and I'm like, is that him? Yeah, like that. So then I tried to do it back, but I couldn't, so then I'm like, okay.
Wait, did you do that? Did you do that Western whistle? Like,
no, she can't whistle.
I can't whistle.
My sister.
You're a good whistler.
That was a really good
Do the whole thing. Do the whole thing.
Now I'm on the spot. I gotta wet the whistle.
My little sister, she couldn't whistle.
All right, what is it right now then?
Just what do you want, honey? What do you got there? What do you got there, sugar? What do you need there?
I want to tell a little story.
All right, lay it
Tell
on
the
us.
story.
God, what just happened?
No, I'm interested.
Let's hear the story.
I'm interested now.
We're excited to hear the story.
Little story.
But keep it condensed. Don't drag it out.
Tell your little story. So listen, Mike, I gotta ask you a couple questions here. I want you to. It's kind of a rare situation to be in, but I would like you to answer.
Are you going to talk about me bad-mouthing you on Gio's podcast again?
Tyler, please play track 1.
On CD1?
Yes, on CD1.
You bastard.
Well, I finally had Anderson on the show, and he revealed that there might be a secret Westwood One archive of Loveline tapes on VHS. He doesn't know where it is, but it's like some sort of X-Files.
I'm gonna make him so angry right now by saying, I know he knows where it's at.
Oh, shit.
He's just lazy.
Corrado!
He'll find out where he knows where things are. He's just lazy. He's just lazy. He's just lazy. He's just lazy. He's just lazy.
So, Mike,
he's just lazy.
I want
he's just lazy.
Ask you this:
he's just lazy.
Where did you get this?
Lazy.
This
I don't
information?
know. I don't know.
That I know where things are.
You told me.
You
We were standing in the parking
made
lot.
it up.
We were standing in the park.
Go to track 3. There's
we suck at radio. Like before the show starts, we talk about all this personal stuff that's pretty funny, and then the show starts, we just sit there looking at each other over beer.
That is a pretty apt description of this.
It is. Was I lying?
Venture.
Hey, I'm surprised that sounds so good.
Could I hear that again?
I should never. We suck at radio. Like before the show starts, we talk about all this personal stuff that's pretty funny, and then the show starts, we just sit there looking at each other over beer.
No, Mike, I love you, man. I'm not. If I really didn't like,
I can't even believe I'm listening to that. Like I'm listening to this, going, "What a-hole said that?" We suck at radio. Like before the show starts, we talk about all this personal stuff that's pretty funny.
Oh my God, I'm
and then
so
the show starts,
embarrassed.
we just sit there looking at each other over beer.
Will you push spacebar? I want to play
We're
that
doing
last.
the Loveline after show now with him, and once again, Westwood One is only streaming it, which is kind of a pain in the ass because
Well, up until this point, I'm glad they're only streaming it because, truthfully, and not trying to be humble, and I'm not trying to be. I don't know what. It's been terrible. Like we thought we could go in there with no agenda and no plan and just talk.
Well, you guys don't get it. You said that about the Film Vault, and you still say that about some episodes of the Film Vault that I know literally thousands of people love, and other people who don't love it just haven't heard it.
You think Stanley?
I'm doing what Mike said that we did. I'm just staring at him over beer. So Mike,
I like Jillian's dad. He's British. It's so weird and unexpected.
They're still married?
Yeah. The first time I met Jillian's parents, Anderson didn't forewarn me that her dad was British, so I walked in and I introduced everyone who has an American accent, and he's like, "Hello, chap," and I'm like, "Is he?" And I'm like, "Hello," and
you thought he was
like,
screwing
"Oh,
with
he
you?
actually has that accent. That's awkward."
It is awkward.
It's a lot.
all right. So
Was he smoking a Sherlock Holmes pipe?
This is kind of interesting. I
Yes.
probably dated. I'm not
that weird double hat.
I'm not trying to sound like some kind of like.
Did he open his mouth and it looked like he had like 4 pieces of wood in his instead of teeth?
Speaking of Jillian,
Let's do it.
She really wants to go to your house sometime.
What time?
She's been saying that a long
When?
time. And she doesn't want me to come, and she always wants to be scantily clad.
That's weird.
She does it.
That's so weird. Do you want to make sure I have condoms?
So here.